Good evening to those bored enough to watch. A typical discussion within gaming as a genre of entertainment is that of asset reuse within them, whether that be between entries of a series made by the same developer or just between entirely different games created by the same people. On one hand, many people seem to think that it's lazy in repackaging old content and advertising it as something new, whereas others disagree with this and focus more on the developmental aspects and advantages that it brings for developers, alongside how much of a waste of money it would be to remake assets previously made before. In this video, I want to talk about why I think asset reuse isn't a bad thing, because I don't think it is lazy to reuse assets already made for a game on another. I actually think it's quite remarkable how smart developers can be to repurpose older assets for newer titles, saving both time, management, and resources for making newer things that fit specific games that they're trying to develop. I've played a lot of games that have taught the importance of managing such a thing, and with the hindsight of me just growing older, it is something that I can just personally recognize more in some of my favorite games or even just recent ones that I play. I'm not sure of how long of a video this may be, but in the end I just want to discuss some of my thoughts regarding this topic, and I hope that you enjoy it. So with that, let's discuss why asset reuse isn't a bad thing. One of the smaller things about asset reuse is how it sets up continuity between games. One of the common examples of this I personally tend to use for discussions of this nature is Yakuza, and how it quite smartly reuses assets between games, while still managing to keep things new and interesting between them. Adding, changing, and removing things between games to fit their specific stories is honestly something I tend to reflect upon at the end of each game I play and appreciate. I wouldn't know places such as Kamurocho and Sotenbori to the extent that I do if I didn't see so much of these locations between these games. Playing through games like Yakuza 0 and Kiwami and seeing how this location changes drastically between locations is honestly remarkable, and it creates a feeling of continuity between these games. While obviously it is just a way to save on time and resources for the developers, I really like how they change things up each time to create a feeling of evolution, as though we're watching these locations transform with time and the setting that these games take place in. For example, Kamurocho in Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami, despite being the same area foundationally, are still distinguishable between two different games, or how Yakuza 2, 3, and 4 ultimately seek to continue to change the location through areas such as Kamurocho Hills. Not talking about Yakuza for a second, tall order I know, reusing assets is a way for developers to build upon their own work and improve, expand, and tweak it in ways that they may have not had time to do beforehand. This just doesn't apply to locations as well. It can apply to a wide multitude of things, such as models, code, and many more examples. Cracks in those foundations may have been present the first time it was made, and sequels allow for developers to revisit those flaws and work on them. An example I want to use is that of the Duck Life games, how 7 created a good foundation with flaws present in them that Duck Life 8 was able to build, expand, and improve upon. Things such as the flawed movement system in Duck Life 7 was fixed and improved upon in Duck Life 8. It was an interesting way to connect the two entries between the games, and that, in hindsight, is something I really appreciate between the games. It also allows for developers to reach new heights with their work, because they already have the foundations necessary, all they need to do is just build upon it. Examples of that can be seen through franchises such as the Uncharted games, and how the first game set a foundation for the second and third to build upon, or how Sonic Adventure set a foundation for Sonic Adventure 2 to build upon. Overall, asset reuse isn't a bad thing. It allows for developers to save on a lot of things such as time, money, and resources that could be allocated to more important aspects of developing a specific game. Time has proven that developers and the games that they have created have actively benefited from this practice than not, and at times reusing aspects of a game for another goes unnoticed at times. It isn't as bad of a practice in the development of games. It's been happening for a long time now, because it isn't lazy, it's resourceful. So there's the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, apologies if I do sound off in this video. I'm still sick and it's been less than 24 hours since I uploaded my previous video about Yakuza's name change, and I am also going to be recording another video later that you won't see until sometime in December. I apologize for the much shorter length of this video. I am working on a few that I hope to bring to you sometime before this year ends. If you want to see the list of games I want to make videos about, then you can always do so through the link in the description. Additionally, if you want to follow me, then my socials will be linked in the description, as well as any afterthoughts or messages I may want to add. With that, I haven't really got much else I want to say, so I'll see you all in my next video. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I wish you all a very pleasant evening.